All right. This is it. The new pack is here. Transaction rollback, pushing Labyrinth back into the meta. A deck that does not have a good matchup against Snake Eyes is now back. But they are playing against Tearlament, as Tearlament just received a brand new secret pack with no new cards involved in it, but the deck is a lot more accessible as now you don't have to craft the cards that you need. So do consider playing Tearlament if they do well. Let's find out. Hajime. Starting off with the special summon Fenrir, tuning, mill the top card of the deck after searching for a Revolution Synchron. Seamare is not going to activate while in the graveyard. Sharon, discard a card, mill the top 3 cards of our deck. Now, the Sharon being sent to the graveyard will be triggering to fusion summon. The Tearlament Scream is going to be chain link blocking it from being negated. So we are going to now return back in the deck to come forth and fuse into Kit Kalos. Kaleidoheart states on summon, or when an Aqua monster is returned back into the deck, you get to pop a card in the field. Is it back in the deck or when sent to the grave? Let me read that real quick. If an Aqua monster is sent to your graveyard by card effect, that's when you get to pop. So there you go. And when it gets sent to the grave, it reborns, plus sending a Tearlament card from the deck to the grave, sending the meta noise to then grab the Sharon in the graveyard back to the hand. Very well done. So the Sulliek can trigger the Kaleidoheart by sending an Aqua to the graveyard, which we don't have one, but it could instead send the Kaleidoheart. That would be the different effect. Now, does this still work if it's not considered fusion summoned? If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, it's still special summoned, it still works. So that's going to be the main play to negate a monster permanently. Send Kaleido, reborn Kaleido, spin a card in the field back in the deck, plus Omni negate with the Baron to floor. That's triple disruption here. And when a card is returned back in the deck, that will trigger the field spell to pop a card in the field. That's 4 disruption, plus the Max C. Let's do it. Max C early in the turn. Pot of P, digging deep. Shotgun in that C against Labyrinth, where Max C is not that good against. Pot of E cannot be used this turn, so we obviously do not grab that. We have Torby. Now we have Ariane discarding the transaction rollback. With the Torby being semi-limited and the Chandelier, we need more ways to get the transaction rollback into the grave. And Ariane, which normally is not played, is now a good way to do so. Sending the transaction rollback from the hand or from the field to the grave to then summon from the deck Ariana. So get ready for that. We're actually getting messed up by the Maxi. Gia, not during the replay. Negate. The Ariana searching the deck. You're not going to be searching for a Labyrinth card here. Now, Rhinoheart being sent to the grave will reborn, triggering the effect to send a card from the deck to the grave. We also now have Sharon in the graveyard. We're scooping this up. That's it. We're out. Thank you very much. Now, Rhino could send from the hands to the grave also, not just from the deck. Send a Tearlament from your deck, except, okay, oh, no. On summon, it discarded the Sharon by card effect. Then it was activating to then send another card from the deck to the grave. Just remembering all the Tearlament effects here, and damn, maybe it's time to play Tearlament again with Revolution Synchron and Vsauce Hammer Tira. I didn't know that was that great. Well, okay, let's go. Rihanna, yes, grabbing the furniture card. Furniture, discard the rollback. Perfect, beautifully done. Setting up a regular welcome, as we already have the big welcome. We also have Solemn Judgment, which can negate everything but a monster effect. Activating Welcome Labyrinth. And unfortunately, because we can't negate a monster effect, the Ash goes through, where we probably want to do a bunch of special summoning here. Negate. Now, look at that. We're copying the hard once per turn Welcome Labyrinth to summon anyway. We're doing it. There you go. The Maxi also, that's what I think I meant, where we're going to do a bunch of special summoning. Now Maxi's going to get us good. Come forth and summon from the deck, Lady Labyrinth. Very well done. Now what we could do is we could activate Big Welcome, chain Lady to the Big Welcome, summon an Ariana or summon the Clock, and then the Clock can be used to activate the newly set trap from the deck. That's going to be a big play. Let's go, let's go. Now, Zeta TV says that they felt a delay on Rhino summon, so I knew it was Judgment. Okay, yes, this is a way to legally cheat. If you normal summon Rhinoheart, it has a trigger effect. And since you're the turn player, you will activate a trigger effect before the opponent can even respond in any way whatsoever. So if it's not asking you to activate that trigger effect on summon, something is fishy. That means there is another window of priority where it is the summon negation window. And let's say we have a Solemn Judgment, they have a Solemn Judgment. You have priority to Solemn Judgment your own monster before they do. So you would summon, and if you have Toggle on, it would ask you, would you like to Solemn? No, of course I would not. Now it's asking them, would you like to Solemn? So because it's not asking them to activate Rhino, it's a clear tell that Solemn Judgment is in the back row. It's obvious, we know it. Discard Nibiru, mill the top 3 cards of the deck. Tearlament Kashtira, mill an additional 2. Sharon searching for the Sulik after randomly being milled. Super Poly cannot be negated by Solemn Judgment, fusing away the Lady Labyrinth and the Ariana to make a Garura, which punches for 3,000 damage, by the way. So we're gonna have to summon a lady, return the lady, summon the lady back, and that's draw 3 for Max C so far. Oh my gosh. A ton of value on that Max C. Drawing into now, we drew into Destrudo. We're going to keep on special summoning, even though you were not allowed to special summon Black Rose Dragon. That will trigger the effect of Sharon being sent to the grave by card effect. That will trigger the effect of Rhinoheart being sent to the grave by card effect. So we have to negate the summon since we cannot negate the effect. We did not negate the summon. Oh my gosh. That's huge. We're screwed now, right? You know that this is triggering all their effects, right? Now, the Lady Labyrinth was protected because there was a set card, even though it was being destroyed at the same time. And come forth, get Kid Callan. I don't know if this is Tearlament being good or if Max C is really good. Even against a deck where Max C is not supposed to be good. Very well done. 2-0 victory, even through transaction rollback. I don't know what to say. Sharon is going to be negated from summoning and milling 3 cards off the top of the deck. Also would have been a way to get the Mudora into the grave. We are now going to be activating our Branded Fusion after the Ash has been used. Very well done. Sending from the deck Havnis and Albaz, triggering the Havnis to also get Fusion Summoning. Lubellion going to get negated by the effect Veiler here. But it's okay, we have Kid Kalos. Think about the synergy here. This is crazy. What counters Branded? The Ash. But we used Ash on a Tearlament card. So Tearlament took the bullet for that. Now, what counters Tearlament? Imperm or Veiler on the Kid Kalos. But then Branded took the bullet for Tearlament. We have Tearlament and Branded protecting each other from the best ways to counter those decks. This is crazy. And this would be the ideal Veiler right here. Grabbing the Suliak, normal summon Mudora. And Mudora's going to be able to quick effect spin cards in the opponent's graveyard back in the deck. We have the ability to negate a monster in the field, plus potentially trigger a fusion if we randomly mill a Sharon or a Havnis. Imperm, which is not going to be good here. Well, we probably maybe should Imperm the Mudora right now. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Negate Mudora. Mudora's going to jump off the field before being negated. Which the Wanted Seeker, we now lose out on drawing a card here. So it did do something. That is something. Very nice. Ash on summon is going to get negated by the Suliak, sending the Kid Kalos, triggering to mill 5. What's going to happen here? What are we milling? What are we milling? Off the top of the deck here. Rhino with no Tearlament in the hand, thus it does not trigger. That is unfortunate. We do have Fairy Tale Snow with 8 cards in the graveyard total. We are able to flip a card in the field face down whenever. Dark will steal a dark monster from the grave, which we did not do it. We could have used the Snow to banish the Kid Kalos to stop that from happening. Ash is negating the effect of the original Sinful from searching for a level 1, which would have been the Poplar. Now, can we use the original Sinful on the field? No. You can only use 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. So sending from the field to the grave to summon from the deck, no good. Now making Promethean Princess, Promethean reborning a monster from the grave here. We have Ash. Ash and Promethean now making the Amblo Whale. Whale. 3,000 attack, not big enough to take out the Lubellion. Fairy Tale Snow will be summoned. We're hoping to trigger the Promethean so that we can activate the Triple Tactics talent. Is it gonna work? Didn't work. Summoning Destrudo. Still didn't do it. We're not doing it. Ancient Fairy Dragon, now we're doing it. I think maybe we just wanted a triple tactics talent. So thank you for activating your Promethean. And now we will be drawing 2. Come off the top of the deck, we have Reinforcing the Army and Sharon. That is incredible. That is great. That's exactly what we wanted. Sending from the deck to the grave, Hovness, and now Fusion Summon into Kaleido Hearts. Kaleido Heart on summon, spin a card in the field, back in the deck. Goodbye to the Promethean Princess. Now, what are we doing here? We are, I would say we screwed up on activating Kaleido, right? We should have just let it go to the grave, then reborn, then spin back the back row. But we instead decided, hold up, it's going to be better if we send it to the graveyard to then reborn, to then send a card from the deck to the grave, which will then be the Sharon. We'll scoop it anyway. Very nice. Very nice. You know, is it maybe a screw up? Actually, I'll take that back. We get to negate and spin it back. It's not about negating, it's about sending it to the graveyard. So maybe if we reborn it, we would have wanted to spin it back in the deck anyway. So to be clear here, that was not a misplay unless we did want to spin back the back row, which, I mean, we targeted the monster to spin back. And maybe that's something we want to do anyway. That's fine. Okay, let's hop another one. Good job, Vodka. Begin. Ash on summon, grabbing the Poplar, not using Ash on that. Poplar on summon, activating, grabbing the Divine Temple, which some people are now negating the Poplar, searching for this field spell. Linking this off into Linkuriboh. Otherwise, we could wait with the Ash effect onto Ash summoning a monster from the deck. We have Diablo Star, which is going to put into the back row an original Sinful, which cannot Ash the effect of setting into the back row. Now with the Ash, sending Ash to summon from the deck, probably an Oak or a Flameburge. That is when we are going to attempt to negate, as the crossout designate will negate the negate. Negate! Foolish Burial Goods, which is limited to 1. Sending from the deck to the grave, Sharon, to then search our deck for any Tearlament monster here. Sea Mare is going to get negated. We are Chain Link blocking the Pit Knight Earl if it wanted to instead reduce the Mare to 0 attack and negate. Okay, very nice. Come forth, Tearlament Kashtira. Banishing the Sullik from the grave to come forth and summon. Are we going to be forcing out the Masquerade activation? Apollo, USA, negate. Now, we're not chaining Earl to the Apollo to reduce a monster to 0 attack. And now the Earl can't really be triggered except through the effect of Masquerena summoning something that would activate. Maybe a Unicorn. So we make Unicorn, we activate, we then chain Earl to the Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn would have drawn a card if we co-linked it with the Earl, and would have made the Earl activatable, which it looks like we don't even want to activate the Earl. But that's okay. We are instead going to summon another monster that could activate with the Earl. That could be the Ash, that could be the Oak, that could be the Poplar. That's fine. But we did miss out on being able to draw, but instead we're going to have a negate with Earl. Right? We don't negate with Earl, that we lost a draw for no reason. Okay. Oak is going to be reborning the Ash. Yeah, you know, we just lost the co-link draw 1. It looks like that was the case here. Poplar, come forth and summon. Yeah. Linkuriboh. Maybe Linkuriboh is going to trigger the Pit Knight Earl. Put the Flameburge into the graveyard. That is fine. Linkuriboh. Get reducing. Pit Knight Earl. Further get reducing. Double reduce. You're definitely not attacking into me now. Sure, okay. Now we have Sullik not only negating a card in the field and monster, it will then trigger the Sharon to perform a fusion summon. What can we do here? We can go into a Rukalos. Access code Talker, you have to toggle on in response to this card in order to negate. On the resolution of gaining the attack, that is when we negate, sending the Sharon, trigger the Sharon, fusion summon into Kid Cow. Kid Cow could send from the deck a Hovness, and then that could make a Rukalos with the ability to negate and effect a special summon. That's exactly what we're doing here, sending a Hovness from the deck to the grave. Flameburge Dragon is now ready to push a card in the field or in the graveyard into the back row, which the Rukalos, Dragostapelia instead to negate the Flameburge, but the Promethean Princess is going to be triggering on the summon of Dragostapelia to pop it. Come forth, wiping out Dragostapelia, sending the Flameburge. Now, Flameburge has not activated yet. It is activating right here, right now. Reborn the Oak, reborn the Poplar. Oak, come forth and summon the Ash. Ash, search for a Poplar. We don't have room to summon it. Everything in attack position. Over 12,000 damage on the field, just like that Snake Eyes taking a Game 2 victory over Tearlament. Okay. Not summoning a Tear. Well, what would Rukalos do there, right? Rukalos would just get pushed into the back row by the Flameburge. Rukalos, you may be thinking, you summon a Dragostapelia, which triggered the Promethean, which would have, if it were a Rukalos instead, I guess the Rukalos could have negated it, but why would you want to even pop Rukalos? Rukalos would just send to the grave, then reborn. So I do think that the Dragostapelia was the correct card to summon to counter the Flameburge, but there was so much more to counter. We were just behind. There's nothing we could really do. Maxi in the standby phase, getting fingered by the Call by the Grave. Negate. All right. We are opening up with the Planet Field spell. We do have an Ash and Imperm. Imperm on Kick Cal is ideal here. Just save it for the Kick Cal and you're good. Grabbing Rhino, did not Ash. Rhino sending from the deck to the grave Hovness. Hovness trigger, fusion summon into the Kikalos. We imperm it. Just like a Snake Eyes Ash, imperming we played around your imperm, we outplayed it. Now the imperm will negate it from searching or sending, but the field spell is going to ensure that the Kit Cal does go to the grave and does mill 5. Okay, and we're still negating. It's just not that good. The impermanence is not as good as it usually is. We could use Ash to negate the mill 5 though. Do we do that? Mill 5, Ash negate. Yep. There you go. Now, if it weren't for the field spell, Impermanence would have just been the 1 card for 2 value. 1 stone, 2 birds would have been great. But because of the field spell, they had to use Ash. Still have Tearlament Grief. Grief, summon from the deck the Sharon, send the Sharon, trigger the Sharon, making a Rukalos. Just like that. Or Dragostapelia. We're not making Rukalos, okay? We don't like Rukalos. We like Dragostapelia better. Is Dragostapelia better than Rukalos against Snake Eye? I guess being able to negate the Ash is something here. Now, let's read the Dragostapelia. You put a counter on them, and then as long as they have the counter, negate the activate effects of your opponent's monsters that have Predaplant counters. Okay. Sends to the grave for Diablo Star Black Witch. Black Witch setting up into the back row, our original Sinful, which this is what Rukalos could have negated. Rukalos negate the original Sinful, summoning an Oak. Oak reborn from the grave the Ash. Oak send itself plus the Ash to then summon from the deck a Flameburge. Another effect that Rukalos could have potentially negated, pushing the Dragostapelia into the back row. I'm not saying that Dragostapelia was the mistake, but those are the options there. Versus negating a monster effect on field, or you can steal whatever card you put into the back row. Let's say there's a Baron to floor that was properly summoned in the graveyard, put it in the back row, and then summon it on your turn. We rarely get to see Snake Eyes make plays like this. Now we have your negate. Albaz on summon, sending the Keldo from the hands of the grave. Dragostapelia, which is your Dragostapelia, negate. Damn. Interestingly done. Now, the Albaz is a level 1. It being level 1 is going to be allowing us to make an Ancient Fairy Dragon here, which it did not matter. Whether it was level 4 or level 1, the Destroyed will change its level based off of the level of the monster on the field here. Grabbing the Tearlament Kashtira, come forth and summon. Banishing the Grief, mill 3 cards off the top of the deck. We have Revolution Synchron, so we can now make a Vsauce Amortira. We have Sharon being randomly milled off the top of the deck from the Revolution Synchron to now make our Kikalos. What a crazy 1-card mill. Grabbing a Rhino, we have already used up our normal summon, but the Kikal could send itself to summon the Rhino from the hand or grave. We're going to mill 5 plus send any Tearlament card from the deck to the grave. Sending a Hovness to now then further mill 5 cards, trigger Havness. This is Kaleido Heart on summon, spinning a card on the field, back into the deck you go. Goodbye to the Flame Burge. Further linking, synchroing, exceeding, making a Baron to floor. Baron to floor, wiping out the Dragostapelia here. Open field, 8,300. Lethal damage. Tearlament has defeated Snake Eyes. Damn. Very well done.